Hello, my name is Sebastian Bulme, and I will be talking to you about the history of computers. Everyone knows about computers, but most people don't know about who developed them. In the 1830s, a man named Charles Babbage is credited with being the father of the computer. Mr. Babbage was born on December 26, 1791. Babbage worked on many inventions, and one of his inventions was considered to be the first calculator. Since Babbage never had enough money to complete the calculator, he never had the chance to fix the many errors on his machine. Sadly, he would die on October 18, 1871, never being able to complete his work. Not only did civilians work on computers, but also the military. One such person was Grace Hopper. She was a woman who worked on the computer. She was born on December 9th, 1909, and she saw the world differently than most people. For example, she had a clock in her office that went counterclockwise. She was the first woman to receive a PhD in mathematics from Yale. After this, she helped Dr. Howard Aiken develop a computer called the Mark I and UNIVAC-1 computer. Dr. Hopper made a coding language called COBOL, Common Business Oriented Language, and continued to work on standardizing computer languages. On January 1st, 1992, she died at the age of 85. Another military person, such as Alan Turing, was another military personnel that worked on computers. He was born on June 23, 1912. He was a master code breaker and developed a machine called Bomb that could help break German codes in World War II. It could break 39,000 codes a month. After the war, he developed a digital computer with an input and output system. Turing was not able to work for the government anymore after the war due to his personal life. After that, he had to work with a private company to make artificial intelligence. Interestingly, he was found dead on his bed on June 6, 1954. They said he died from poison, but still, to this day, people do not know if he died from suicide or if he was murdered. Ralph Baer was born on March 8, 1922. He is known for making the first video game. Sadly, since he was Jewish, he had to move away from Germany when he was a child because of the rise of Adolf Hitler. When he moved to the U.S. He became a U.S. citizen, and after the war, he developed a primitive video game system called the Brown Box. It included ping pong, handball, soccer, volleyball, and etc. He had given the rights to the gaming system to a company called Magnavox. Later, the company would make a gaming system in 1972 called the Odyssey. After winning the National Medal of Technology, he died at the age of 92 on December 6, 2014. Dennis Ritchie was born on September 9, 1941. Ritchie would get a bachelor's degree in physics in 1963 and a doctorate in mathematics in 1968 at Harvard. In 1967, he would work at Bell Laboratories, where he would work on the Multics OS, a single-level memory storage system. Ritchie decided to make Unix. The computer wasn't really attached, so to speak, to any other hardware, which was new to the world at the time. During that time, Ritchie and one of his co-workers had created a coding language called B. Since the coding language had many problems with it, they decided to make a coding language called C. And let me tell you, they were very creative with those names. But wait, there's more. They created C++ and Java, which are still used today. October 12th, 2011, Dennis Ritchie was found dead in his house. Clarence Elias was born on May 11th, 1943, on the poor side of Chicago, and he quit school at the age of 15. Elias taught himself how to work a computer, earning a scholarship to Beloit College. Graduating with a double major in mathematics and physics, he moved on to graduate school at the University of Illinois, where he worked on hardware and software. After graduate school, he was the first African American to receive a PhD in computer science. Currently, Elias is working as a developer at IBM. Bill Gates was born on October 28, 1955. He co-founded Microsoft. When he was 13 years old, he made his first software program. When Gates was in Harvard in 1975, in his sophomore year, he helped build microcomputers with his friend Paul Allen. What he did with those computers was turn the computer language BASIC, which was commonly used in larger computers, into a language that microcomputers could understand. In his junior year at Harvard, Mr. Gates dropped out of Harvard to form Microsoft, selling an operating system called MS-DOS, and then developed Windows, which became a dominant operating system which is still used today. Bill Gates is now one of the richest people in the world and focuses on charity and global health. Another man that started his own computer company is called Michael Dell. He was born on February 28, 1965. He attended the University of Texas and started a company named after himself. He was the youngest CEO of a company to enter into a magazine called Fortune. The article is about the top 500 companies in the world. He also wrote a book called Direct from Dell, Strategies that Revolutionized an industry. That was written in 1999. It talked about the Dell company and how it functions. In 2004, Michael would suddenly step down as the CEO, but he was still chairman of the board. Later, with the help of Silver Lake Partners, he bought the company for $25 billion, then sold it for a profit at $67 billion several years later. Elon Musk was born on June 28, 1971. Many people will be surprised to hear he was born in South Africa. At the age of 12, he made his first video game and sold it for only $500. When Musk got older, he realized there wasn't much opportunity in South Africa, so he got a passport to move to Canada. Then Musk got into Queen's University in Ontario, Canada. Then Musk had to move again to the U.S., where he was transferred to Pennsylvania University. From there, he got a bachelor's degree in physics and economics in 1979. In 1999, Musk made XCOM, which would later become PayPal. After 3 years of PayPal being run by Musk, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion and used the money to found SpaceX as space exploration He would also make Tesla an electric car company. And finally, last but not least, Mark Zuckerberg was born on May 14th, 1984. He was a former Harvard student who was interested in coding right from the start. While still a college student, he created Facebook, which made him rich, and at the time, he was the youngest billionaire in history. After Facebook became a multi-billion-dollar company, Zuckerberg has focused on donating a lot of his money to charity.